Hi. Well, we've talked a little bit about taking this studio, and when I took it mid-June, I wasn't really sure why I felt I needed it, but I did think I needed it. Um, when you're starting a new piece of artwork, lots of times you start on a brand new sheet of paper or a brand new canvas and everything's pristine and you start from scratch. Now, I did that a bunch of decades ago. At this point, it's a little different. It's like when you have a canvas or a piece of paper over there that's not gonna, if I keep following that path, I'm not gonna be accomplishing or able to produce the thing I want to produce. And so you may, if it's watercolor, you may put it in the bathtub and wash off a whole lot of it so that it's just suggestions. There's energy and there's form under there that you do like, some things you want to keep, but you don't want the painting to be about whatever that was. You're just using all of what you leave there as background. I think that's a pretty good allegory for me. Yeah, I got decades of making art and teaching art, and you can't have any of it back. I love it all. Every whip stitch of it was wonderful. But I need, from someplace in me, at this point, to stop, study what's there, and decide what I want to paint next, both on paper and in my head. One of the things I did, you remember I mentioned that I have too much stuff? Well, art supplies, that's one subject. I'm not going to talk about that one right now. I'm going to talk about, though, what is either new inspirations or baggage, all those unfinished paintings. I realize now, as of today maybe, certainly within the last day or two, but I think just today, that those unfinished paintings were part of what was tangling up my studio. And you're not going to believe this. What I did last week one day was I gathered up 3 folders full of that unfinished work. I'll show you some of it. Now I'm not good at this part. Sorry folks, but I'll do the best I can. So there's something happening. I like that, but I'd sure like to see it finished. And there's a whole stack of work down there. There must be a dozen paintings, and they're in a particular fantasy kind of style. I love that work. And I was doing a whole bunch of it, and all of a sudden life got in the way and it got sidetracked. And there's a little bit of landscape over there. And if we keep coming around, there's more landscape. Let me see if I can come up here better. And, oh, my little butterfly thing, I've always loved that. Someday I just really would like to finish it. And there's more up there. And, there's more. Oh, started some doggies. Those, I started something new. And there's something from Hawaii, the red thing. I don't think you can see it, but it's there. And then there's more. And over here on the table, there's more. And over in a folder that you can't see, there's a bunch more. Okay, what's this about? I take a new space so that I can have a clean area to work, and then I fill it up with all this unfinished work. The first thing I want to do is talk about, where does unfinished work come from? People who don't paint don't know, And some people who manage to actually start on one and finish it, start on one and finish it, hats off. As my husband used to say, if I'm not working on 8, I'm not working, and that's the truth. I mean, you can see I have stuff all over the walls. I can't ever invest my walls in framed work. I use them too much. I love it like this. I love it with artwork all over the walls. It's not finished, and I walk by and say, oh, it's like I hung that up there the other day. Oh, that's looking pretty good. But after looking at it a little bit, I about decided, nope, not good enough. I'm going to have to do something more. It's this one. Not strong enough in the leaves yet. Anyway, these over here are all things I thought maybe they could fly. But that's how I use my walls. Now, once they're finished, in a pile, you know, favorite fantasy is that I could stack all the finished work in a pile and some gallery would pick it up and haul it off. And then next month come put a check there. Favorite fantasy. But I brought all this stuff in here, and I realized that it was really one of the things harassing me most in my studio after I got it here. And I brought it here because I felt like, stop, look at this stuff. Some of it I really love. Some of it's left over from demonstrations. You know, you go out teaching. Well, art leagues and art supply stores for a while were flying me in, and I was teaching, and I did an awful lot of demonstration. And lots of times I would remember and give away the demonstrations. Sometimes I'd forget, and so there's some unfinished artwork. It was never started because you were that enthralled. It was something you needed to demonstrate. Also, sometime you're doing a demonstration and something about the color and the rhythm and the energy you just really appeals, and you do want to take it home and see that become what it can, or find out what it can become. A lot of the work I do, you find out as you paint. There's the other kind where you're looking at something and you know what it's going to be and you paint it and it's that. But a lot of the kind of work that I do is the kind that you learn what it can be as you paint. Then sometime you're on the mountainside and it starts raining, and so what are you going to do? Watercolor in the rain is hopeless. And then sometimes you're just working up a storm. That's what happened on that bunch of floral things down there. I was producing a lot of that kind of work and loved it. And it was so happy, and it was doing well, and then life got in the way, and by the time everything settled down and I could get back to working, it was cold. And that's what I call this work, cold. When you've moved away from it, you see, when you're painting in acrylics, you're sculpting, you're painting in oil, or working in colored pencil, when you push, you pick up your paint and push on the canvas, and it pushes back and it gives you energy. Clay, you push in the eyes and the cheeks come out. It gives energy back. Watercolor, I don't have that same experience. It's like I'm here and I'm having these thoughts, and I don't even feel the paint going onto the paper. The brush is so soft and all of that you kind of just lose touch with what's happening, except visually. You could see visually what's happening. So when it comes time to reconnect with watercolor, I find it a little more difficult